All right, so you want to go bass fishing, and you've looked it up online, and you've seen that you can fish with a Texas rig, a Carolina rig, a spinner bait, a jig, a bladed jig, and you don't know what to do. Well, maybe you want to try out the Texas rig, but you don't know how to rig it up. So let's talk about rigging it up and when to use it. Let's talk about the Texas rig. So first off, I've got my rod is a 13 fishing medium heavy 7-foot 3-inch rod. So what that means is it's a little bit longer and it's got a stronger action on it, so it doesn't bend as easy as other ones. And that's because when we throw our Texas rig, as I'll explain in a little bit, we're kind of along the bottom and we're popping our lure up above cover and stuff, and so the fish may grab it right there at cover, and so we're going to need something to pull that out. Okay, so first off, we're going to take our line. Right here I've got 12-pound Cajun red line. There'll be some people to argue that you need fluorocarbon or mono for this, but I've found that this line works just as well. I have no complaints. So we're going to take our weight. We got a weight like this. I prefer to use tungsten. It's just personal preference. And when you're rigging it, you want your weight to only be as heavy as what you're fishing. So what I mean is the depth of the water. If you're pretty shallow, you don't need such a heavy weight because it's going to get down there and it's going to hang up and you're going to have some problems. So just keep that in mind. But what we're going to do is we're going to thread our weight just up the line, and then we take our hook, preferably an EWG hook, and we take our line, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I prefer the cinch knot, so I'm just going to cinch knot it up. And then we tie it on, cinch it tight, and then of course we cut off our excess. And so what this weight does is it moves up and down the line as you've got it, and so that creates action. And so what we're going to do is, so if you've got darker, muddier waters, you match your lure to your water type. So a lot of stuff that I fish around here is murky, dirty water, and so I match it with these like green pumpkin worms that they've got some like specks in them so that the sun can hit them. And so what you're gonna do is you take it, you put it through the hook, and now we're just gonna break through. We want just our head going, all right? And so, babe, pull that in a little closer so they can see. And so we just run it up the hook, and we're gonna put all of this, the head of this, over all of this up here, all right? And so now, our hook, our lure, we measure to the bottom of the hook. All right, and so we're going to take our worm and we're going to put it through so that it's even, all right? And so now our hook is inside of our worm to make it weedless. And I'll explain that in a minute. But if your hook comes out, all you do is you take your lure and you put it over your hook, and so that it's, even in there. All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, we're talking about the Texas rig. So what we want to do with the Texas rig is we cast it out. So the Texas rig is a horizontal rig. So think of it as you're throwing it out and you're dragging it back in to cover a bunch of water. So when you throw it out, you're going to let it sink to the bottom, and then we're just going to pop it Reel it slow, let it sink, pop it. Reel it slow, let it sink, pop it. And usually bass, what they're gonna do is when it's coming back down is when they'll want to grab it. So in the slow months, the Texas rig, you can still use it, but in the real slow months like winter, pre-spawn and stuff like that, you're really gonna work at it because the fish are just kind of lazy. They're not gonna want to hit it. But if you make enough action and stir up enough, dirt and grime and stuff on the bottom of the water, then you may make them hit it. So, but during the spawn and the post spawn, when the fish are really hungry, they're really wanting to get after some stuff, they're super aggressive, this is perfect to use. You can cover a bunch of water, and as you're popping it again, the fish will try to hit it on the way down. So this is a great lure to use. You can use it year-round if you want to, but during the spawn and post-spawn, you're really going to get some hits on it.